It's hard to put into words the true scale of the disaster that was Hurricane Melissa, a system that tore through Jamaica, entering on the south coast and cutting its way out through the north like a tracer bullet, left the island on its knees. But unlike a bullet, Melissa's path was agonizingly slow. Every gust, every surge, stretching the terror into hours that felt endless.
Because the first eye wall came and things were fairly intact. But about 4:23, the second eye wall came. And that was when things started going downhill rapidly.
In the midst of it all, William Knibb Memorial High became a sanctuary. Walls of learning turned into walls of refuge. Inside, a handful of souls huddled together, listening as the wind howled and the roof trembled, praying the building would hold. It offered shelter from the storm, but not from the fear that crept in with every distant scream. Even now, those memories linger. The sound of the storm, the darkness, the helpless waiting. It touched everyone, the young, the old, no life untouched, no heart unshaken.
The eye pretty much passed here. When I say pretty much, it passed here. So we had a 25-minute break where sunlight came out and persons felt it was the end. But I told them that if it was the eye, you normally get a 10 to 30 minutes. Within 20-25 minutes, it was back. And that's when you'd say all hell break loose, literally. I mean, the front admin buildings, those roof went first. And then the block we were on, it just started peeling off from the far eastern side, coming closer to where the staff room is. So at that point, I mean, the 24 persons here just had to start relocating. Those on the lower level, the floodwater started rising. On the upper level, second floor, roofs went.
Dewight Jeremiah is a shelter manager here at William Knibb Memorial High. He spent nights away from his own family to be with strangers who had nowhere else to go.
So these windows blew in, and once they blew in, then the ceiling started to come down. So then they had to vacate this room. So there were some ladies in here, two gentlemen, they were the ones who grabbed Miss Russell and lifted her out of here because, you know, she used a walker. So this went.
82-year-old Cynthia Russell still mourns the loss of her son. She sits silently in the shelter each night. What she has with her now is all she owns. Her home was lost in a fire after the storm had passed.
I wouldn't want to repeat that in my whole life. I've been through hurricanes, storm, tropical storm, but nothing like this. When I was in the state, I heard about Gilbert and all that, but I can't just imagine. I don't want to go back to something like this.
This is also the room that the 82-year-old lady was in. So at one point when I came, the zinc flapping up this side, and I think she was asking me to, so that piece of zinc was ripped off. It was flapping. She was asking me if I could have the noise stop.
This was terrifying. You know, it was very terrifying. And nervous wrecking and everything. I wouldn't want to go back to it. Until now, I still have nightmare, you know, listening to the winds and the zinc flying this way, zinc going that way. And it was awful, very, very, very frightening. You know, so I had to just thank God. You know, the house is gone, but there's nothing cannot be fixed while you're alive. You see, I have my life, and this is only temporary.
She admits she has family, but she says she's now all alone. The abandonment, unexplained, but deeply felt.
Do you think they have any idea where you are now, where you're located? Do they know?
Yes, they do, because a friend of mine, Andrea, called, and she get one of them, and she says if she needs any information, she'll call the principal. Even before this happened, you know, is a friend of mine helped me out monthly, pay my rent.
So you're not angry at all?
Am I?
You're not angry?
In a way I am, because I have a lot of things important things that I lost in the fire. This means a lot to me. For instance, my son just passed in May, and I got a lot of his stuff, and I didn't have them long enough and I lose them. But I'm gonna go back over there and go through the rubbish, A lot of important things that money can buy.
And then there's Antonette Mitchell, a mother of 4. 2 of her children stay with her here in the shelter. The other 2 are with her sister, sharing the burden of care in a time when everyone is stretched thin.
It was rough. I never experienced anything like this before. So in my case and my situation, it was just rough because I have to travel with a little baby as well.
How did you know that you had to leave?
I just took precaution this time around. I never leave my house or leave a rent house throughout any other storm, but based on what I heard on the news and so forth, I know I should leave this time.
Because it sounded a little bit more serious than, say, Beryl or previous hurricanes.
Yes.
What happened when you were here?
While I was here, the place started to flood, and we have to be running up and down. We was down at the bottom there, and then we moved, come up this side.
How scary was it for you?
It was really scary because I have to walk through the water and I can't swim, so I started to fret. Plus I have the 4 kids with me as well.
It is a difficult time to process what Hurricane Melissa did, but what are the next steps for you as a mother?
Just take it one day at a time and pray and trust God.
In terms of income, how is that going to work?
I don't really know because before this storm, I lose my job because of the baby. Hospitalized for 1 week and then I lose my job, so it's really hard. But I just keep my finger crossed and trust in God.
Amoya Wallace represents a growing number of Jamaicans who built homes on unsafe land, places that offered hope but not security. Now that hope lies buried beneath the wreckage.
We started to see us start lift off. One of the boats started to break, and then we start put black and thing on it, and then in our elevator, I miss my brother house dropped down now flat. So we get scared and we panic and we just run. And we came over here about some minutes after 5 we came over here. When we go back in the morning now, the water was like real high, like waist level. Yeah, but it's keep on going like many years now. And then my house is real low. So I have a real water issue year to year because I flood out in January and flood out in June, same way. And then this one again. So I keep on, even if the rain just simple fall because my house really low, I have a water problem on the land itself because the house really low. And then I build a wall house now and then the storm lick it down off of it. So I just look back a little help. I can get 2,000 black and some steel and so forth. To build back myself and my shop blow down also. So I want to get back my things together so my kids them can have a good life. That's a laptop also gone. And she have hers 60 to do this year and thing. So she in a great level. And there's a lot of things also missing and we lose a lot. Each time the rent keep falling, we lose a lot.
Having said that though, aren't you a little afraid of rebuilding in the same spot?
Can't afford one good piece of land, so we have to just take a little time for this one plant till better come. But the government they did say something about relocation how much here, and I'll know because I beg help from 2013 and I'll know me can't get help because we go down to the office and we ask them for help. At the same time we ask them for help, the night after we always flood out. Because water we really did fall and we went down there and we don't ask for help now. Same night that was flood out. That was 2014. And we keep on asking help, nobody respond.
Do you think that people misunderstand you because they are saying, why do you live in that place and you know that it's flooded out? Do you think that there is a level of misunderstanding that takes place in regards to people who have no other options or choices?
Well, for my opinion, I would say we live there because we don't have other choices. And we don't have other opinion because we can't, over there, no, we can't afford land. Because land is expensive. And we did it when we were a child. So we just capture one little piece and we just live there. But if me could get help to move, I would not really take it. Because I can't swim. I'm afraid of drowning.
And Kemar Wilson. He barely has time to grieve. He's lost everything, yet somehow still finds the strength to help others around him.
What was the experience like having to move during the hurricane to come here?
It's kind of surprising, to be honest. When I was a little scared because I can't swim myself, but if you go through 3 different sections, our water will catch you up them places from where the phone boat is there. From there, so you have to go through water. And when you catch down at Allen, all of days so they flood out same way. And when you catch right down here so to where Dave hardware there, all of days so they flood same way. So a 3 different sections of water at the same time.
And then when you got here, it wasn't any easier, was it?
No, because all of down there so they flood out. And down there so everybody there. And so down there everybody there, say me just come and really, because yes, I'm come get acquainted with them basically. And me yes I call they say everybody just go to one place and everybody have to run come here. And then they are all night now wet clothes, cool and I never sleep, bro. Never sleep.
What's it been like the last few days staying here? Because obviously there are strangers here as well that you have to.
Kind of paranoid.
Why?
I know your normal lifestyle. I used to like feel just sit down up at daytime now. I used to feel get up every morning and work and you know I mean I love the road still, but you don't have a routine, a life routine you used to. And now that you just there, so no light, no signal, nothing. You just sit down more or less if you're looking at space and paranoid.
Waiting isn't easy.
No. It's a lesson still because they teach you so you have to have patience. But nice.
If you could get something right now, what would it be?
Yes, honestly, I just take some play and zinc. Can help strengthen back your thing, build back your place. Everybody can feel comfortable and convenient again. At least a little. Because so you have to still wait for the light and so forth. But when you have roof over your head and so forth, you are comfortable. You can sleep good and so nobody can come trouble you or nothing like that. So.
You're obviously grateful that you're able to actually get shelter and in the days after Hurricane Melissa get food and stuff like that.
Not even shelter, I'm just grateful for your life in general. Because you do the right here, so we are complaining about house tear down and them things that other people are about to go bury somebody and so forth. So I feel just grateful there in general.
The window for help is closing quickly because a school, especially one this damaged, cannot remain both a place of learning and a place of refuge.
And I spoke with these persons here that we're not trying to say you have to go home because you may very well need the shelter. But the Hague Primary is a shelter, and where the high school students are concerned with the 11th graders exiting, those exams have to go. I mean, the western region of Jamaica is just one part of Jamaica, and that part is just even a smaller part of the Caribbean doing these external exams. So they have to focus on those students who, at William Knibb now, is just the ground level that will be able to be used for classrooms at the moment. And if they get tents coming in, fine. So one of the things that I've asked ODPM is if they could move them to a nearby shelter, which is Hague Primary, which may have a longer return time for school to start back, possibly because it's primary and they have more time on their side. It's going to be further away from their permanent dwelling, but that might have to be the case for William Knibb to be back up and running again.
Dewight says there are many lessons to be learned from this ordeal about planning, about preparedness, about valuing the lives that often go unseen.
I'm thinking that in each area, like in Trelawney here, say you have the Trelawney Multipurpose Stadium, I'm thinking that I know there's not unlimited resources, but you could move things in place into these areas in a way that you could pull from them to these listed shelters that you have a particular amount. I mean, over the years, they would have had the numbers, because every year that they would, or every time that they would have a shelter, I have to furnish the authorities with the numbers of persons in the shelter, the makeup of it in terms of age group and sex and those stuff. So if they look at that database, they can have an idea of how many persons you possibly expect at Holland, at William Knibb, at Hague Primary. And then you could shift things in place closer to the time, because you're right, a lady here came in with what? 3 kids. And she came just at the beginning when the rains were coming, and she said, based on the flood waters, she thinks she wants to leave her dwelling and come. At that time it's raining. She's not going to, it's just a taxi that she had to bring her over. She chartered to come in. I mean, she asked the guy, when I told her there was no mattress, she asked the guy, could you go back and get him? He said, no, not in this rain, and not with the fact that I have to go now and get off the road because I don't know if I can traverse. So I think they could move things in place and then pull from that. If it's not required when the disaster passed, then you move that to the areas that may need it, because some of the times too, as we can see in other areas, it's difficult to get into those areas, but maybe if the stuff are in the area already, then it might be easier to pull it from these places and bring it. So I think we have to focus more on that aspect of the acronym of preparedness, because I don't think being a shelter manager and hearing the rhetoric, I'm thinking, when I hear the authorities talk, I'm wondering if I'm an outcast at one of those shelters getting nothing. But then in the group, I hear other shelter managers lamenting not having nothing. And I think the preparedness part of that acronym is either neglected or yet enough attention is not paid to the preparedness. I think we're more into relief after the disaster.
And those conversations will come in time. But for now, healing takes priority. And for the people here at William Knibb, moving forward from a devastating past is the next step.